And we're back to Bargain Basement Fallout. How you going? I'm Mixy, and we're back with a recap and review of Fallout Season 2 Episode 6, The Other Player. This episode really feels like the writers have tried to undo Season 1. They realised that a major plot point of that season of Fallout was so stupid that, you know what, let's undo the whole thing. There's a cameo from a famous Fallout voice, but this scene makes me wonder what would non-gamers think is even happening. Nothing is explained at all. It's a case of if you know, you know. A lot of things happen in episode 6 of Fallout Season 2, but none of them are interesting. Many of them are stupid, and they undo things already set in motion. If you're going to keep saying, oh wait, what we told you earlier is just part of the story, here's the real story that actually changes things totally, I'm not going to be interested. I'm going to wait for the real reveal. Not this fake second real reveal. I ain't got time for that. And Small World Syndrome raises its ugly head yet again. This world is smaller than Star Wars. Everyone who had anything to do with the plot at one time will come back and have another scene. Can we stick with the characters we've got and not keep reintroducing characters? We also get 2 spine-breakingly cringy musical dance sequences. No thanks. With this episode and 2 more to go, can they right the ship and get all of these convoluted plot lines sorted out? Time shall tell. Anyway, on to the recap and review. Spoilers! In the meantime, drop us a like and subscribe. Why not? I'm currently playing through Expedition 33 and we've got Star Trek Starfleet Academy, which promises to be hilarious, and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which I'm actually holding out hope will be terrific TV. So episode 6 begins with Barb in a conference room being shown what is going to happen with the vaults and how they can make money off them. Ideas like having express lanes on the highways that only vault dwellers can use to get to the vaults when the bombs are incoming. Water chips failing predictably so Vault Tech can choose who gets a failing chip. I guess they put one into Vault 33 with the junior execs. House made a deal to give Vault Tech the mind control chips in exchange for cold fusion. So he had it working as we see it now, back before the bombs. So Barb was a patsy all along. She didn't have the authority to make the big decisions. Oh my god, all this time we all thought she was a powerful woman, but she's just an underling, which makes Hank an underling's underling? But they were just describing how many and how large the bombs would be that are planned to hit LA. So did they know it was going to happen or did they not? The people of Freeside are just walking around the ghoul while he's impaled. Okay, that I can understand, but not grabbing his stuff? Well, if they grabbed his stuff, he would turn feral and the show would be over, so it makes sense, kinda. Once again, Dog Meat is useless and runs off with the ghoul's hat instead of getting him his vials. Seeing this scene makes me wish that Freeside gets eaten by Deathclaws. It's an odd choice to have him fall out of a window onto that lamppost in the main thoroughfare if they weren't going to help him. Should have set this in a side alley. Would have been cheaper and more believable. Like, surely a crowd would gather. It's not every day you see someone impaled on a spike, and if you don't care cause he's a ghoul and he'll be fine, well, he won't be if he turns. What then? So the big cliffhanger from last episode is just Cooper telling Barb he knows what she's planning. Wow, thanks. Lucy wakes up and she's in a vault. There's a note from her dad, so she's in Hank's vault. But there's Legion soldiers in there, but they're not really Legion soldiers, they're Hank's mind-controlled minions. Why are they still in Legion armor? Everyone else is in slacks and a shirt. I know, it's so Lucy can get scared and think she's in a vault that the Legion is overrun. This show does this a lot. They show something that makes no sense other than for the character we're following to get the wrong impression. It's cheap and lazy. Hank's gone from having Chicken Lover under his control to having dozens of people under his control in the time it took Lucy and the Ghoul to get from one side of the strip to the other. That's some rapid production. Do they have Star Trek replicators in Fallout? I hate these goddamn musical numbers. There's 2 of them in this episode, it's so cringy. More evidence of lazy production. Lucy goes from having a fire extinguisher as a weapon to having a pair of scissors. At no point do they show the exchange, even though she was just in an office. A 2-second cutaway to a hand slyly grasping some scissors would be all that's needed. But you know why they didn't? Because it would make the golden child here look like a psycho. We've already established that she's safe, everyone's polite, so there's no clear threat. Grabbing the scissors would be an act of aggression, not self-defense. So my theory of this all being a simulation is out the door. Boo! I'm 1 from 3 now. Turns out Hank is living in a simulation of a living room. This must be a display vault. Lucy apprehends Hank to take back to be tried for the destruction of Shady Sands, and it's very lucky that she seizes him right in front of the drawer with a pair of handcuffs in it. What are the chances? Or do all the drawers in vaults have handcuffs in them? We don't really know. Back to Maximus and Thaddeus. They've ditched the power armor as it's got a tracker in it. It's more trouble than it's worth. Luckily, there's no tracker on the world's most important object. Not even a person in the same room as it when it was stolen. Remember that? Jeez. I get that the Brotherhood is inept, but they should have fallen into ruin decades ago with their current level of ineptitude. Thaddeus has some interesting campfire chat about how rich people are good and poor people are bad. They must have got the memo from Uncle Jeff. The ghoul is turning feral and he's trying to keep his memory active to ward it off. And then along comes a super mutant. Oh hooray, another terrible musical dance segment. I found it very distracting when the screen went from 4:3 aspect ratio back to 16:9. I guess it's meant to represent Rage's imagination because he can't actually play the piano, he's not even miming the words. Make it stop, please. So Peggy finally puts a stop to this nonsense. I mean, they were chomping down on fresh strawberries. Without water, they won't be growing anymore. In Vault 32, Woody is missing and Steph has arranged for Chet to get married. Tomorrow. Surely someone would have said something by now. They're already setting up the decorations and nobody came to congratulate Chet. And we still aren't looking at this baby. Definitely a freak. Back to the ghoul and the super mutants. He shoves a lump of uranium in his hole so he'll heal. So is the ghoul going to be permanently radioactive? That'll make a family reunion difficult. The super mutant says that the people responsible for the mutants is the Enclave. So now we've got another twist. What a twist! Coop and Barb are arguing over the ethics of bombing the world, and Barb is claiming it's okay because it's for Janie, while Coop believes that the end does not justify the means. Barb justifies it by stating that, hey, there's worse people out there than me. Like that's a justification. Oh, I only kill people, I don't kill and eat them. This story is getting more and more convoluted with flashbacks inside flashbacks. Wilsey is back, and he's just waiting in the elevator the minute Barb tells Patty that she needs info on the cold fusion. He's passing on a message that if she doesn't do what she's told, everyone she loves will die. This show seems to think that people only care about their immediate family, their spouse and child. What about their parents, their sisters, their cousins, their friends? Nah. Get my kid inside the vault and drop them bombs. But hey, Barb has a pretty strong defense. I was just following orders. Everyone knows you're in the clear in that situation. So Coop goes and kidnaps Hank. Back to Lucy escorting Hank out of the vault. But she allows Hank to tell her about the people who are in the vault. Rita used to cook people for the Legion, even though cannibalism was outlawed. How strange. So it was just at this time that they had the NCR soldier and a Legion soldier brought in. Wow! Mortal enemies and someone Lucy has just interacted with a day ago. What are the odds? Well, Lucy demands that they're not brainwashed, and so they set them free, and Legion Boy tries to murder the NCR guy with a stapler on the forehead, instead of, punching him or stabbing him, but hey, he's disoriented. They had the chips in their neck already, just they hadn't been activated. Hank's policy must have been wheel them into the main workroom, bound and struggling, and then turn the chips on with the big button we have set up in the room. It's a good system, just give it a chance. So these devices not only make you do what you're programmed to do, they also change your personality to make you super pleasant and helpful. This is in no way the same person as before, and a crime against humanity. Cooper's isolated Hank, but the device isn't in the case. It's the device extractor. The device is in Hank's head. Just like Wilzig. See, it's like poetry, it rhymes. But that's stupid. Think about it. Governments don't do the handcuffed briefcase because A, it makes you a target, and B, the bad guys will just hack your hand off. Now we've added an extra layer. Let's say they put 2 and 2 together. The thing is in his head or body somewhere. Well, we'll start by torturing you to get the info on where it is and how to extract it. They'll start cutting into you, x-raying you, burning your body. Now, even if they don't find it, it's still lost to the original owner. Just stupid. So now Barb shows up and retrieves the cold fusion device. Now Barb is responsible for what happens to it in the past. Maximus and Thaddeus are snoozing by the fire when we hear the super mutant carrying the ghoul approaching. Oh wait, no, it's that damn dog. They sound so alike. Talk about a cheap ploy to raise the tension. Clearly the super mutant breathing effect. Nope, just the dog. So for some reason the dog leads Maximus and Thaddeus to where the ghoul is. Not where the ghoul had been originally, or where the ghoul had been taken, but directly to where he was dropped off by the super mutant. Now that's convenient. Small world, huh? And that's the end of episode 6 of season 2 of Fallout. Probably some of the most nonsensical, convenient and ridiculous plot points I've seen in this series yet. Once again, we get the point at the TV and scream, "I know what that is" style of production. We get a super mutant in this episode, and once again I have to ask, do non-gamers even know who or what that was? It was Ron Perlman, by the way. You know, the war never changes guy. Barb went from evil genius, from evil moron to a patsy for the true bad guys, the Enclave. I reckon that senator woman has to be part of the Enclave. She has the US flag with the circle of stars, it just needs the capital E in the middle. The folks of Freeside are shown to be a collection of jerks, not helping someone who's clearly in distress. Hank's setup makes zero logical sense. Somehow they captured an NCR and a Legion soldier and decided to convert them on the exact day that Lucy was in the vault. Everyone that comes along has to be someone we've seen before. So I'm giving Fallout Season 2 Episode 6, appropriately enough, a 6 out of 10. Look, it's got the props, sets, costumes, all right. But every time they introduce something, my brain just says, wait a minute, and I'm pulled out of the story. Thankfully, there's only 2 more episodes left, but there's no way we're going to satisfactorily resolve Hank and Lucy, the ghoul, Maximus and Thaddeus. What happened to those kids, by the way? Norm and Buds, Vault 33 and 32, and now we're adding super mutants and the Enclave into the mix. That's at least 6 plot points we're following. But I forgot to mention the Legion and House. 8 plot points in 100 minutes. They must all meet up in some central location. I don't think they have the writing chops to pull this off, but I guess we'll know in 10 days. Anyway, tell me what you think. Was this your favourite Fallout episode, or did you find it stupid too? I've got a quick Star Trek Academy review coming soon, just as soon as I can force myself to sit through it. I'd much rather be playing Expedition 33. If you want to chat about Fallout or TV shows and video games, come and see me over at my YouTube gaming channel, MicksysPCGaming Live. I'm currently playing through Expedition 33. I both love it and hate it. So come and watch me scream at the computer and go troppo in triumph. I'm also on Twitch over at twitch.tv/MicksysPCGaming. You can also find me on Patreon. Join now, it's free and it feels good. But anyway, thanks for watching, have a good one, see you later.